Whenever I sit down to compose a new piece of music, the very first thing I ask myself is, what is the emotion I'm trying to capture? Because music for me isn't just about sound, it's about feeling. It's about creating something that reflects where we are, what we're experiencing, and what's at stake in this very moment. Hello, I'm John, and I'm one of the presenters on Do Radio. I also write all of the music you hear on the station. Now, when we set Do Radio up, one of the things we wanted to do was trying to capture some of the highlights from our guests each month. You know, our guests are coming on and they come thick and fast, and it's impossible to listen to all of them. So what we wanted to try and do is to capture some sound bites and shape them into a piece of music that we could share with you. It's a way of kind of reflecting on the month, celebrating the voices who've joined us and giving new listeners maybe a sense of what they might have missed. And this is the very first of those tracks. This is the September 2025 piece. Let me show you how I wrote it, and more importantly, why it sounds the way it does. And if you hang on till the end of this video, I will play the full track in its entirety. So radio for me means nostalgia, you know, the static noise between stations, those kind of conversations where you catch them midstream, signals fading in and out as you're on a long car journey. And for me, this is where I started with this track. It begins with vinyl static. There's a distorted version of me reading out a poem about loneliness. I've chopped up some vocal samples. They never quite make sense, but I wanted to try and get a sense that you're overhearing fragments of a conversation in a busy pub, catching half a sentence maybe before the signal drops out. It's kind of chaotic, but it's alive. And this is what it sounds like. So we've actually got me breathing in the background. We've got me reading out this poem. We've got vinyl static. We've even got my son playing the cello here in the background. And then further along we build and we get some of these kind of chopped up voices. Okay, so you may be thinking, well, that sounds bloody awful, John. And to a certain extent, you'd be right. What I'm trying to do is set the bed of this piece. It's kind of chaotic. There's voices coming in and out. There's a bit of noise. There's the cello kind of bedding it down. And it just sets the stage for everything else that I layer on top. Now, this month's conversations on Do Radio weren't just chatter and lighthearted. There's been a thread of nervousness too, a sense of foreboding about the future. And to capture that uncertainty, I turned to feedback, not a melodic phrase, not tonal, but this raw, unsettling power of feedback is the kind of sound that makes you shift in your seat like something out of a horror film. I've got a fantastic instrument here somewhere in my studio that makes this kind of great noise. And it's what I use to bookend the piece, opening and closing with tension. This is what it sounds like. So this is where the feedback starts to build and come in. Of course, if we left the piece there, it wouldn't sound very good and it would all stay in the dark. But alongside the uncertainty from our guests, they definitely spoke about hope. And for me, nothing speaks of optimism more than strings and piano, those classic, timeless instruments. They've been around for hundreds of years. They can really lift the mood and suggest that better things are possible in the future. So I layered in a whole load of violins, violas, some more cellos and some pianos just to try and bring a bit of light, gradually building the track back up from the darkness that it starts. And it sounds like this. Okay, so we have the strings coming in now, building up some pianos, a little bit in the background. Slowly, gradually getting louder, getting more expressive. With a little bit of that piano melody comes a bit louder in the background. Just to bring that hope back into the track. So then came the question, does a kind of reflective track like this even need rhythm? Now for me, rhythm is a part of who we are. The first sound we ever hear is a heartbeat. It's primal, it's human. So of course I had to have a heartbeat in here. And that's where I started. I wove in a subtle pulse and then built upon that. It's not a heavy beat. This is not a dance track. The heartbeat keeps the track alive and keeps it moving forward, because even when the future's uncertain, we have to keep going. Okay, so this is the start. Just that heartbeat. Bring in a bit more rhythmic sound. Almost sounds like those kind of heartbeats when you're... Almost sounds muffled, like heartbeat from the womb, perhaps. Building a bit more rhythm here. Then get a bit more bass. So it's just a bit more of a driving beat just to keep the track going. Gets more and more involved further on. So it could be part of a dance track, but it's quite subtle when you hear it all together. It just keeps the whole thing moving forward. And that's what this piece is all about. Uncertainty and hope side by side. At one point near the end of the track, you'll hear Michael Mead say, "I don't know what's coming next." And that's exactly it. None of us do. But the pulse keeps us driving forward. The voices keep speaking, and we keep moving forward with a little bit of optimism, woven into that static of nostalgic radio. Now, I haven't played you the voices yet, and they obviously are the star of the show. So I'll play you the full track now in a minute, and this is the first monthly track for Do Radio, September 2025. If you'd like to hear the full piece, it's available now on Bandcamp, link in the description. Go and have a listen and let yourself get pulled into those layers of hope and unease. And of course, tune in to Do Radio to hear the conversations that inspired it all. Each month brings new voices, new stories, and new music to match. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next month.
Now on Do Radio.
In essence, you're holding their hand when actually you should be setting them free.
It's weird how it can be creative.
There's so much magic in the living world.
What I think I am is actually a facilitator of creativity in other people.
Arises from holding the tension of the opposites.
That may not have made me the perfect CEO.
Creativity as a force.
But isn't that what selling and marketing is? Entertainment?
We inevitably are facing darkness because we're facing the unknown.
Shocking, the stuff you'll read.
Easy decisions into a hard life. Hard decisions lead to an easy life.
The unity that we love to find in the world, we are not going to find. That unity has to be found inside ourselves.
The most important thing for young minds is to stay agile.
We are on the verge of creativity.
If there's a right way of starting a business, I did it. I did whatever the antithesis of that is.
Makers have to make.
I think that's true for all of us.
I think it's career suicide.
AI could be much bigger a change to society than the internet.
I don't know what's coming next.
And I had no idea what I was doing.
I hesitate to say great minds think alike when it comes to me and you.
But that was more successful to me than any number that I took from it.
And freedom to figure it out themselves.
That changes everything.
It's changed people's lives.
It's better to be clear and not clever.
Talk about making, think about making, procrastinate about making. We actually have to make.
The people I know using it right now are some of the most creative people in the world.
Best ideas don't wait.
In essence, you're holding their hand when actually you should be setting them free.
We inevitably are facing darkness because we're facing the unknown.
And I'm not sure who's winning.
I don't know what's coming next,